And I'm live. Wow. So, welcome to my weekly 10 show, which is now on Wednesday evenings. And the reason I've done that is so that more people can watch it live, because most people are at work on Fridays. So, straight into what I'm about to talk about. Well, tonight I'm talking about the turning point, and I'm going to go into that in a second. But firstly, I want to just say to you why I'm talking about that tonight, because the turning point is the Turning Point Challenge, which is what I'm releasing next week. I'm bringing out my new 5-week program. It's a signature program which will be released next week, and it's focusing on the turning point, funny enough. So what I'm going to talk about tonight is what happened to me to get me in this position, in the mindset where I'm currently am, and it was my turning point basically. So I was going through a lot of really difficult things, traumatic things. There's a lot most of you probably would know from other stuff that I've done out. Yeah, I lost my family in a very short space of time whilst I was in prison for something I hadn't done, and I was given a life sentence and told that I would never be released from prison. So that was the nuts and bolts of it. And while I was sat there rotting in a cell, 23-hour bang up, you think lockdown's bad? Try that. Sitting in a cell, not being able to get out even for a shower, mourning your entire family, and never ever thinking that you're never ever going to get out of prison ever. It's traumatic, it's to say the least. And yeah, I went through a very bad time mentally. I was in a really bad place. Started taking drugs. I was in a very victim mentality where I literally felt like everything was done to me. I was the victim, and it's not a healthy way to think about things. It's not a good way to live your life. And luckily I survived the overdose I took when I nearly died. Not long after my parents died, well, about 6 months after my parents died, I found out that two people I really cared about a lot, or thought a lot of, basically did something that really broke my trust. And that was like it wasn't the worst thing that happened. Obviously losing your mum and dad's probably the worst thing, but that was the straw that broke the camel's back, and I just lost the plot basically, and I ended up taking a drug overdose and nearly dying of a heart attack. And luckily my friend found me and gave me CPR and saved my life. And that was my turning point. That was that point where I just thought to myself, you know what, I'm not going to live my life like this anymore. I've had enough of this. I'm not a victim. I was brought up not to be a victim. And there was me sat there looking like crap because I'd been taking drugs. I was awful. I was skinny, skin and bones. My skin was grey. Looking back now, it makes me feel sick thinking about what I looked like and how I felt. But I literally was that bad. I was that close from death. I was that close. And, you know, it was hard. But I pulled myself out of that mindset because I got a lucky break in my mate happened to walk past and find me on the floor. And he saved me. He gave me CPR. And the year after that, the following year after that, it was a battle of really trying to regain my health. I was backwards and forwards with hospital appointments, having all sorts of tests and God knows what to try and see, you know, to make sure that I wasn't going to die and have another heart attack and all of that. Luckily, I was all right. I was fine. I got myself healthy again. Started training, going down and the gym. Did a degree. Started mentoring kids in prison. And that's what turned me on to the coaching, because I realised I had an aptitude to do helping kids. And I'll give you an example. There was this guy one day, I was working in a critical reasoning class in prison, and there was this big guy, and he was about 6'8", and he had his head on a desk. He didn't want to do anything. He didn't want to interact with anyone. And the teacher I was working for basically said to me, he's got to go because he is not doing anything. And I said to her, leave it to me. So anyone who knows me knows I've got a bit of a mad sense of humour. And I walked up to the guy and I just basically said to him, what would you do if a Sherman tank came through that wall at 5,000 miles per hour? Completely crazy. But it broke the ice and he started laughing. And he got involved in the group. And he turned out that he wasn't this horrible, nasty, violent monster that everyone thought he was. He was actually a quiet guy who was embarrassed because he had a stammer. And once that came out, everyone thought, is that it? And they accepted him like that. And that was a moment when I realised that I also had a talent for this. And that was also another turning point, because life's full of turning points. And so what I do now that I'm a fully trained, highly fully trained professional coach, I spent 2 years training to become a professional coach with the top school in the world, IPEC. And now I'm using my experience and my training to help other people find their turning points, or if you've already found your turning point and now looking to move forward, then that's what I'm helping people do. So this 5-week course that I run now, it's a group coaching program. It's a very structured program, so you've got a problem, a solution, and outcome focus. The first 2 weeks of the program, we focus on basically identifying what thoughts and what blocks to our thinking we are holding us back. We get yourself out of that victim mindset and up into a much more responsible mindset where you start taking control of your life and taking responsibility for your thoughts and your actions and obviously your feelings. So that's what we focus on as a group, and it's really breaks barriers down, because working together we also realise that we're not the only ones in this situation. So other people are going through the same things. So we all help each other. The third and fourth week, we are focused more on a solution focus, where we're looking to actually put things in place to help us move forward. So strategies, plans, techniques, those sort of things. And each individual is different. So every individual will need a different strategy or plan. So we work together to create that and build it out, so that when you walk away, you've actually got a very strong outcome which you can use straight away to create whatever you want in life. So that's essentially the 5 weeks in a nutshell. So obviously there's a lot more involved. I mean, it's not as easy as that, but that's the nutshell. So for only £79 for the 5 weeks, and that works out a tenner a session, you get 7.5 hour coaching sessions, because each session we do one a week is 1.5 hours long, and that's a group session. We also get a unique private run Facebook community where you can join, and you can also talk to the other people, and you make friends. You could communicate with people and share ideas, so you're not alone in whatever you're going through, and other people are helping you move forward as well. So you work together as a partnership, as a team, and we all work together to get you where you want to be. So starting with the problem, we work through the problems, the solution, we create the solutions, and you walk away with the outcome. So if you're interested in this, and if you're going through a situation now where you're feeling this way, and there's a lot of people going through situations like this, especially after lockdown, where you just don't know which way to turn, and before you know it, you're in this horrible mindset where you just don't want to live anymore. And I know that mindset. I've been there. It's disgusting and it's horrible. It makes you feel horrible. And don't let yourself get to the point I did, where I'd done something ridiculous and nearly killed myself. So, I'm here to help people like that. That's what my experience and my training has helped me to do. So if you're looking to get free of whatever the shackles are that you've got going on in your mind, holding you back right now, get in touch with me and we will put things in process. Now, like I said, the coaching, the Turning Point Challenge, I'm releasing it next week. I'm going to be sending out the page for that, the information page for that from Monday. So keep an eye on that. If you want to get it sooner, sorry, not sooner. Sooner. What did I say? Sooner. If you want to get it as well through my email newsletter, you sign up for that. I'm going to leave that in the box at the bottom as well. And like I said, get in touch. You can either get in touch with me through my website, you can contact me on there directly, or via one of the social media sites. Either way, I'll get back to you straight away with more information about what I do. So please do that if you're interested. It's something that's life-changing. It helped me, because when I got out of jail, I went straight into coaching. My mind was all over the place. I didn't know where I was. I didn't know which way I was turning. Everything was new. Everything was strange. I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't feel familiar. Everything I knew had gone. So, and it was when I had coaching myself that I realised the power of what that can do. when you take control of your thoughts and start actually using them to work for you. And there's no reason why you should be sitting there in that mindset, because it's easy. I know what it's like. You sit there and you think, there's no way out, I'm never going to change, nothing's ever going to change. And then you doubt everything as well. You become a cynic. Oh no, that won't help me. Well, it won't do if you don't do nothing about it. But yeah, so the choice is yours. I mean, if you want to get in touch and have just a chat, there's no obligation about that. You can have a chat to see if it's for you or not. So you don't have to sign up straight away for anything like that. If you just want to have a chat and find out how it all works, etc., I'm happy to do that as well. So, have a wonderful weekend. But well, I was thinking it's Friday still. It's not. It's Wednesday. So this is my new time. So remember that Wednesday 7 o'clock. I'm going to be doing it regularly now. So keep an eye on for that in future. Forget the Friday. It's gone. I'm going out instead. Have a great time, and I'll speak to you next week. Ta-da.